Have you ever played Steep Slope Sliders for the Sega Saturn? I used to love this game when I was a kid, and frequently would flip between this and Cool Borders 2 on a nightly basis. I first got a chance to play it when it was included on a demo disc on the UK's official Sega Saturn magazine, which was a rarity at the time because you were lucky to get one demo disc every 6 months. But after playing the demo so much, I couldn't wait for the full game to come out. I would replay the demo over and over again, and reread the articles and the review in the magazine, just until I got my hands finally on the full game. I do remember though not being able to pick it up at launch. As with most Sega Saturn titles in the UK, it was pretty hard to come by. I didn't actually get this game until I got it second hand later on from a used game store, and I distinctively remember having a choice between this and Shining the Holy Ark, which I still don't own but really wish I picked up on the day now. So how does the game hold up today? Well, I do remember there being a lot of secret characters and hidden levels, but thanks to the internal battery on my Sega Saturn dying, which means that all of my game saves from 18 years ago, including Burning Rangers, Panzer Dragoon Saga, and Shining Force 3, are all completely gone, including this one. So it basically means I've got another game to complete just to show you everything. This wasn't exactly hard to do though, because unlike Cool Borders 2 where you've got multiple playing modes, this game literally only has one mode, and that is just racing or tricking at the same time. There's no one to race against, no computer controlled opponents, no 2-player mode, it is strictly choose a level, choose a rider, and then go. Your aim is to beat the top score or top time on the level, and then choose another one to then go race or trick on. It does leave the game pretty bare bones, but thanks to the controls, which are pretty simple, leaving you to just jump, grab the board and flip around or spin, it does mean that the game actually goes quite fast, and the load times are actually pretty impressive, something that I would never expect for a Sega Saturn game, let alone a game back from that era. At the start there's 7 locations to choose from. 4 are kind of just your average downhill race, one's an alpine race, another one is the halfpipe, and the final one is the snowboard park, which is pretty much the main level I used to play on all the time. There are also 4 hidden courses, and the only way of accessing them is by holding down secret button combinations when you're choosing a level. In truth though, the only way of actually accessing those is by unlocking all the other characters, and this is where the game gets a little bit more fun. While these secret characters don't actually offer any benefits, in truth some of them remove the ability to do grabs so you can only spin and flip. Who doesn't want to play as a penguin bombing it down a course, being able to backflip, or even choosing a spaceship and flying through a space halfpipe, doing spins in the thousands of degrees? Once you've completed a level, you can actually save the replay to the internal memory on the console, and this is where I used to spend the majority of my time. The editor itself is pretty complex and comprehensive for a game back in 1998, with the ability to change through multiple camera angles, rolling cuts, zooms, slow motion effects, and even apply filters to the picture. I would spend hours in this mode trying to make the best extreme videos I could, and then I'd record them to VHS just so I'd have more room on the Saturn to record more. Graphically, the game really does look dated by today's standards. I mean, the Saturn was never known for being the best 3D console, but I will say that Panzer Dragoon Saga and Burning Rangers would like to have a word with you if you ever didn't think it couldn't do 3D. I mean, everything runs at a smooth rate, unless you hit a wall or fail a trick, and basically then when all the snow effects start coming up, it slightly starts to chug. But apart from that, it is actually still a fun experience. And each level only really lasts about a minute or 2 long, depending on whether you do lots of tricks and keep failing, or if you only do 1 or 2 tricks and try and get the best time on the level. I also forgot until I started playing again how good the soundtrack is, and as most of you hear the music because there's barely any sound effects, it's a mix of early 90s rock / dance / electro / random music, which is actually really good. There's even a secret vertical snowboarding shooting game, which actually has its own storyline. I don't remember there being a story back when I used to play this game, but I do remember playing it. But I also don't remember it being anywhere near as boring. And that's it. No championship mode to work through, no multiplayer to play with your friends, it's just a short and sweet experience. The controls do take a little bit of time getting used to. Sometimes you will go off a jump, you won't spin anywhere near as fast as you need to, resulting in a crash, or other times you'll do a crazy ass spin and get a ridiculous score for it. But when you compare it to how much there is to do in Cool Borders 2, it really does lack a lot of things. But you've got to look at it like this. Back then, on the Sega Saturn, there wasn't really a lot of choice, and there wasn't really any other snowboarding games. I do remember there being one advertised in the magazine called Zap, but I definitely remember never seeing it available for purchase anywhere. And considering all the reviews I've read of that game, I don't think I would want to play that one either. So would I recommend picking this one up? If you own a PlayStation and a Saturn, I would still probably pick up Cool Borders 2. It's got a lot more to do in it, and you probably get a lot more replay value out of it. But if you only own a Saturn, I would definitely pick this one up. Now every single game has to have all the bells and whistles for it to be good, and while it does lack in single player experiences, the gameplay is actually really solid, and the soundtrack is rocking. And now that this review is done, I'm off to go make some awesome 90s throwback tricking videos.